Hello, my sewing friends. This is Friday Sews, kind of Saturday, Sunday, I don't know. I'm Jen and I'm on vacation, and if you ever want to know where all the Friday Sewists are, click on the hashtag, and while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you won't forget any of mine. You won't miss any of mine. Well, I'm sitting on the floor at my parents' house. I am not in what used to be her sewing room because she has moved this cabinet, let's see, there, out to an area of the living room. She's relocating it. So that meant everything had to be gone through. She said, I need you to help me go through everything. First of all is this Olfa mat. This is a rotary cutting mat. Can you see all the cracks? It's seen better days, so I think it's going to go in the trash. She does have one other good cutting mat. It's a Fiskars, but it's small. And she has a ton of scissors, really nice scissors. She's got some Wiss pinking shears. She's got her gingers. And she did give one pair of gingers to me. These are her gingers. Oh, they're so nice. Someday they will be passed down to me, hopefully no day soon. Some of the little things she has are things that were given to her by a friend who was in her 90s and passed away. And so this was one thing. It's just a little plastic dish, and it's got a safety pin on it. I have to say that my mother is very good at keeping little tiny containers for the things that she has. This was also from her friend Anna, Anna is the friend who was older and passed away. And this, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was one of those little powder cans with a little powder puff thing inside here. I think that's where the puff went. And then it was for, like, you know, puffing yourself off after a shower or a bath. Well, we filled it with so many, so many safety pins of all sizes. And you know what? I think this is what happens when you've had a sewing room for a long time and you collect everything. You just think, oh, do I have safety pins? Who can ever find a safety pin? Well, she can now because they're in this little box. Pin cushions. She could never let go of a pin cushion. No. Oh, this was a fun thing. An easy stitcher makes sewing fun because we don't have enough fun, do we? It makes a loop lock stitch as in knitting. Marvelous for hemming, over casting, basting, tacking, shearing, smocking, applique, and decorative stitching. It looks like that. And it has a thing on the back for tailor tacking. That's, if you're a new sewer, which most of you are not, but if you are a new sewer, that's a way to mark your dots and triangles and things like that without using chalk or anything like that. You use thread. Anyway, I thought that was kind of a find, and it was 39 cents. I love it when I find stuff like this. Oh, here it is. The smallest Olfa cutter, and probably the oldest in the history of Olfa cutters. You know what? I say that, and how can that be true with so many of us that sew? This has got that little guide on it. I think you loosen this and slide it. And then when you're cutting, well, maybe you should do it this way. I'm not making this very clear, am I? Like that. And so when you cut, you could go like that, and it will give you a little guide to where you're supposed to be cutting. I bet there are 20 tape measures in all of this stuff. She is keeping this, even though I would really like to have this. I have one, but it's much bigger. But this is a nice size, and it's an omni-grid ruler. So if you're a quilter, you know what this is. Let me see if I can show you like this. Maybe that's easier to see. Yeah. Anyway, it's a nice size. It's a, let's see, 9.5 inch by 9.5 inch square. And so anytime you're having to square off a corner, it's really nice to have. She's keeping all of the elastic. I mean, seriously, what is she going to do with this much elastic? I don't know, but she wants to keep it. And so, you know what? She's keeping it because that's how it ought to be. This was kind of a find. I looked at it and I thought, well, she still writes checks. And I thought, oh, she wanted to order checks, but no. It's a little article on how to remove adhesive from things. I thought, man, that's actually kind of handy. Here's a find, a hex needle threader. Made in Western Germany, German and foreign patents. Look at that. How cool is that? Don't even know what's inside. Some of this stuff she probably has because they bought a farm and it was owned by people, we think they're hoarders. They were hoarders, or maybe they still are, I don't know. But anyway, this has got, okay, you've got a little place for a spool, and then this little thing, and I have a feeling this little thing, you do something with it and push it down and it, I don't know. If you know, you can let me know, and that would be helpful. Hex automatic needle threader, and it's got instructions. And I should check and see how old that is. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. And she bought a new machine. New to her. And it is right there. It is a Bernina Burnett. It is a Burnett B05. Haven't even gotten it out of the box yet. Let me close with this as far as sewing. This is the Coates and Clark's newest methods from A to Z. I remember this book. This book helped me. And I don't know if it helped her or not. Probably it did, but she said she didn't remember. But anyway, it's got some good stuff in it. As any sewing book does. Don't they all have good stuff in them? That's cute illustration. Anyway, as for life, we've been to the fair. It was so fun. And I was going, oh, this place has changed too much. What's the matter with everybody? Why is stuff not where it's supposed to be? I walked over, went with my mom to the 4-H fashion review. So we were the little old ladies who were sitting there, and we had no idea who any of these kids were. But, I was in 4-H, and I did a lot of sewing in 4-H to kind of cut my sewing teeth. And, so it was really fun to watch them. You had the sewing competitions, and then you had the modeling competition, the whole thing. So it was really fun. And then yesterday I went back with my family, and we had a blast. And walking around, I found the things I thought were missing. I thought, where's the French fry booth over by the grandstand? Well, there it was. And where's the cane toss? How can they have done away with the cane toss? Nope, there it was. And when my mom and I were there, I looked over, all the rides were in one place, but that's not the place where they've always been. So we looked, and I said, what is the merry-go-round doing there? It needs to be over there. And she laughed. And so when the kids and my husband and I all got there, I was complaining about that. And then I realized it's okay, nothing's missing. The goldfish game was there, the cane toss was there. The Ferris wheel has changed a little bit, but that's okay. And we got food. We got so much food. My husband got Polish sausage loaded with onions. I got French fries and shared them with everyone. I got a little bucket to carry around. Those are so good. I only ever have malt vinegar on my French fries when I'm at the fair. Had those, and funnel cakes, sugar waffles, and I made dump cake. Oh my gosh, the amount of food that we have been eating. But best of all, sweet corn. Mr. Peterson's sweet corn. We've had that almost every night. And man, I can eat 3 ears in nothing flat. That stuff is so good. Probably because you can only get it one time out of the year. And it's in the month of July and August, the months of July and August. So, oh, so good. So good. And here's the trick. Forget trying to get a butter and a knife to put it on there with your salt. No. You just get a stick of butter, you unwrap the top of it, and you start slathering it on. Make sure your corn is nice and hot. Oh my gosh. And salt it, and you are golden. And so is the corn. And oh my goodness, in my mouth. Whew. So anyway, that's been this week. Hello, my sewing friends. I'm Jen, and this is this week's Friday Sews. I would go through the whole spiel, but you just heard it. So welcome if you are new here, and many of you are. And so I'm really happy that you're here. Yay! More people joining in Friday Sews, growing the community. So don't forget to subscribe if you are not already. And let me tell you about the sewing. Like I said, my mom was relocating her sewing room, and so she went through everything, and I was a little shocked. I thought she was down to the point where she was only making like pajama pants and aprons, but no, she had some gems that she was hiding. So let me show you what they were. I did bring home a few things. Most of it I left there because I didn't have room. But I'm going back next month and I'm going to bring it all back because I'm going to go up with probably an empty suitcase and bring it all back. Anyway, okay, let me show you these patterns. She has See and Sew Butterick 5125. This is an apron that I used to make when I made aprons and I sold them, which I did for a little while. I had an Etsy shop. I still have the Etsy shop, but I don't make aprons anymore. This is the tried and true pattern that I used. Actually, I have a video. Actually, it's two videos because it was back in the days when you could only do 10 minutes. I couldn't fit it all in because clearly I'm a chatterbox. Anyway, I made two videos about how to make this apron. They're like the second or third video I ever did. So anyway, all that to say, I have this pattern. It's worn out. It's falling apart. And now I have a brand new uncut copy. Yay! So if I need this apron pattern again, which inevitably I will, I have it. I'm so happy about that. So that was the first thing. She has New Look 6843, which may or may not still be in the books and online. I will check and let you know. But it's just little skirts. Cute, huh? Just basic little A-line skirts, 2 darts in the front, 2 darts in the back. And you know I am not going to make that little bound waistband. I'm going to like move it up into a Hollywood waist because daggone, I can't get over how well that kind of waistband fits me. Gotta love that. Simplicity 9139 is from 2000. It is 3 skirts, 1 skirt and 3 lengths basically. And one of them has a ruffle. And then 2 pairs of pants. One are like cropped and 1 full length and a pair of shorts. That's from 2000. I think I said that. Oh my gosh, just such classic pieces. It's like, who doesn't need to have a few more of these in their pattern stash? Okay, well, maybe not everybody needs a huge pattern stash, but this is really nice to have. And it's uncut. It's uncut. I am so happy about that. She has McCalls 2565 t-shirts and tank tops. Yet again, more staples. Great to have in your pattern stash. I'm not sure I can ever have enough of these. But this is from 2000 also. And that tells me that's probably about the time that she was starting to not sew as much anymore. She doesn't sew anymore. That kind of makes me sad. But at the same time, I don't want her to sit and not be able to do it because of her back. And that's mainly why she doesn't. I think she just needs a better chair, to be honest. Anyway, t-shirts, great pattern, uncut. I shouldn't say great pattern because I don't know yet, but anyway, uncut pattern. Here are the gems. She had 2, count them, 2 folkwear patterns. Ah, couldn't believe this. Now this one I am pretty sure is cut. I don't care. This is Folkwear 201, the prairie dress. Oh my gosh, it's like a nightgown with a collar. I love it. Here are the line drawings, and you also get an apron. Oh my gosh, the illustrations on the fronts of these patterns, this pattern company, it's just fabulous. Fabulous. I am so happy about this. I would make this in a heartbeat as a nightgown. I really would. Maybe I will. I don't know. And Folkwear 216, this is the schoolmistress shirtwaist and skirt. Now this one is not cut. I think she got this because in my hometown we have old-fashioned days. I think they call it old timers days. I don't know why they changed the name. They should not have, in my opinion. But anyway, I think she got this to make for that. I don't know why, maybe for the parade or some kind of a show, or I don't know. She's not the kind of person that would be in a show. But anyway, I think that's why she got this, even though it's uncut. I would like to know what constitutes a shirtwaist. Like, what is that? This looks like a blouse with a peplum. Maybe that's a shirtwaist. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I'll have to look it up, but it seems like the difference between this and a blouse with a peplum is time period. I don't know, but here are the line drawings in case you're interested. There we go. So pretty skirt and dress, not dress, top. Oh, I don't know. It's been a long day. Huh. Another just gem. And I have a feeling this is from, remember I said that they bought a farm and it was owned by hoarders? It really was. I mean, it was out of control. They did not keep that farm. They sold it. Actually, they gave part of it to their church. It's a long story, but anyway, it had all kinds of stuff in it. I think this is what this came from that. This is the Buckaroo Bobbins Authentic Vintage Western Clothing Pattern Company. This is the hoedown dress. Can you see this? Hope there's not too much of a glare. All sizes, complete instructions. This is from Chino Valley, Arizona, 1992. Wow. What a find. I think that's so cool. Couple more things she had, and some of them, I found these, and she goes, oh, you can just donate those. And I thought, are you kidding me? I'm not donating those. How many of us have been on Instagram and seen people that make stuff from vintage linens? These are all handkerchiefs. And the thing is, they are tissue thin. Like, look how thin that is. And you know what? Of course, because it's a tissue. That's what it was intended for. So anyway, she had a bunch of these. And so I took them home. One has that kind of an edging. One has lace. One has yellow flowers and a little bit of a bound edge. One has bows. One has kind of a doily edge. And this is my favorite. This still has a sticker on it. Oh, wow, I didn't see that before. This has embroidery. I really like this one. This one, actually, I hope I can do something with. So this, I think, was my favorite find of all the stuff she sent me. I'm looking for a piece of paper that was included with it, but I can't lay my hands on it right now. My mom and dad took a trip of a lifetime. They went to Australia and New Zealand and Fiji. And when they were in Fiji, they were on a tour, so they took like an excursion, and my mom found this. I think there are 3 yards of this, and it is from Fiji. It is a batik, and she saw it and she thought, well, I think I might like to make something from that. And you know what? I think I may make her something from this, because I just could not believe it. This was laying on the bed in the room where I always stay. And I thought, what is that? And then she had a piece of paper, and then she said, this was from Fiji, 2000 something. And I thought early 2000s, but I could not believe it. It's just beautiful. I just can't get over that it's from Fiji. I want to visit Fiji someday. It's on my bucket list. Oh, I hope so. Hope I get there someday. Well, anyway, those were all of the treasures from my mom's house, my mom's sewing room that she is downsizing considerably. And I was thrilled. I will still be receiving her Bernina 930. Forget that there's a word that goes with that, which doesn't work, but you know me, I will find a way. I will find a way, because I read something recently in looking for parts for it, and it said this may be the best machine that Bernina has ever made. And I thought, I am not getting rid of that. That is going to be mine. Actually, it is mine now. She just bought a little Burnett. So yeah, anyway, all of that to say that I got this stuff, and there's more to come, and I'll let you know when it comes back to my house. as soon as I got back, it was late Sunday night, and I was so tired. I spent Monday sleeping in, or, when you get old, your body just doesn't care how much sleep it's had. It's time to wake up. And so I slept in as much as I could. And then I came in here and I picked up where I left off. And so I finished this up. This is a little silk top that I made. It has pin tucks, you can see. And it is from a men's shirt. And I have a whole sew along for it. And I'm going to share that with you coming up soon. But this was kind of fun to do because I had to design as I went. And so I just had some finishing things that I needed to do to get it done. And I did that as soon as I got home. And I also worked on this skirt. This is linen. And this is a really nice skirt. This is some of the good sewing that I've done in recent months, years. I like this a lot. This looks as good on the inside as it does on the outside. And I'm really proud of that. It's a lined linen skirt, just a little A-line skirt with a Hollywood waist. It comes up high and it squeezes me in a little bit tight, not too tight, a little bit, just very fitted. Feels great. And I'm almost done with it. All I have to do is the hem and I'll be finished with it. And with it, I am going to make Butterick 6706. And I just looked at this. It is from 1993. Little outfit, little skirt and a vest, or a pair of vest and a skirt or pants. And I'm making the vest, and it's shortened. I've shortened it, and I've made it more like a cutaway vest, like you'll see in store, shops and online and everything. I really like this, and I was going to cut it out, and I looked at the interfacing last night. I thought, well, what kind of interfacing do I need? And I didn't realize this says that it's lined, but what they mean by lining is just like a all-in-one facing that comes down the front and goes around, and it like finishes off the armholes and the neckline and the whole thing. And I thought, well, shoot, I've already cut a lining, so I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to work on that this week and hopefully get it done. And that way, then I'll have kind of a little capsule thing going on. I'll have this skirt, that vest, and the linen colored vest and skirt and pants that I made earlier this year. Kind of going neutral. Just, doing all the cool, fancy things. That's really it. With regard to life, you heard it all. It was the fair and the people and my family, and we are a lot, and we wore my mom and dad out just by being there. But another thing I did while I was there, I have to tell you this. I used to cook with my mom. She would come over. We lived about 2 hours away, and she would come over for the weekend, and we would cook and freeze food for it was once a month cooking, but it wasn't for a month. We would cook enough for 3 months and freeze it. And with 5 little girls, that was so helpful to me. And so this time I thought, I would love to return the favor and do that for them. So I did. I made like 5 different casserole kind of things and put them in the freezer. And I tell you that not because I think, oh, I want the accolades that come with that. Oh, I'm so fantastic because I did this for my parents. No, I don't tell you that for that reason. It's because I was so blessed by them. I've been so incredibly blessed by my parents in my life. And to be able to have the privilege to do that for them, it's all about me. It's not about them. Being able to do that for them, that was just, oh my gosh, the feeling, the blessing it was to me to be able to do that. It was wonderful. So you want to be blessed, do something for somebody else. It's the feeling is incredible. I can attest to it, and I highly recommend it. Okay, along those lines, I'm going to move into a little bit of Jesus. So if that's not for you, thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate you, coming and sharing a little bit of your day, your time, your life with me. And this channel has really been growing. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm really glad you're here. So I will move on, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you stayed for a little bit of Jesus, well, I pulled out one of these little scripture cards. This is from Ephesians 2:8. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God. That is such a big, big statement. That is the basis of our faith as Christians. You know, Jesus came, died for our sins. We have salvation in him, free gift, the whole thing. That is a huge, huge concept. That in those ancient times, he did that. He, for everybody who is ever going to live or who has lived, for all people, all the time. I mean, it's so big. It's like, it's huge. I read a quote from G.K. Chesterton a long time ago, and it came to mind recently. I was watching a YouTube channel that I often watch, and it was a guy who was interviewing another guy, and the guy he was interviewing is a scientist and has some companies, and now he's a bazillionaire. And so he was asking the interviewer, the guy whose channel it is, about the guy's experience with God, his experience, his faith. And he was so engrossed listening to this guy. And I thought, he's hungry. He just wants to know. It's like, this is a crazy thing that he wants to know about. It's, you know, he doesn't understand it. And, you know, he has a scientific mind. Okay, the quote from Chesterton came to mind, and I'm going to screw this up, I know, but I will put it here on the screen just so you can read it and you'll get the gist. It is, the man who puts his head into the clouds does something. It's a good thing, like is able to experience God or understand. I don't know. I've got it here on the screen. But the man who tries to get the clouds into his head will explode. Okay, so the idea here being salvation, what Jesus did for us. If we try and get that into our heads are just going to explode. But if we back up and try and get our heads into the clouds and understand that our God dwells in unapproachable light and he is glorious, he is full of grace and mercy and love for us. His son is also full of all that. Gave up his life for us. It's so big. It's so big. All you can do is fall on your face in praise and worship of this God that has saved us. What else can we do? It's so big. It's just so big. I was thinking about it last night and I thought, oh, I have to share that with you all. So, you know what? There you go. Let me know what you think of that. And I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there this week. So thank you so much for being here. You know, I love you all, and I really do. I pray for all of you. All of you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.